You know Thorin Oakenshield as the proud, stubborn Dwarf-king from The Hobbit, but his story is far more tragic and heroic than just a quest for gold. His entire life was a relentless battle against loss, exile, and the dragon's shadow, fueled by an unyielding desire to reclaim his birthright. Did his quest truly shape the fate of Middle-earth? Discover the untold story of Thorin's rise from a dispossessed prince to the king under the mountain, and the profound legacy he left behind. Get ready to delve deep into the heart of Dwarven history and the making of a legend. Our journey begins in the glorious days of Erebor, the Lonely Mountain, the ancestral home of Durin's folk. This was the pinnacle of Dwarven civilization, a kingdom of unparalleled wealth and craftsmanship. Under King Thror, Thorin's grandfather, the halls echoed with the clang of hammers and the joyous songs of the dwarves. Gold flowed like rivers, and jewels glittered in every cavern. Young Thorin, a prince of the royal line, grew up amidst this splendor, learning the ancient crafts, the songs of his people, and the pride of his heritage. He was trained in arms, a skilled warrior even in his youth, destined for a life of prosperity and leadership within his thriving kingdom. This was the Golden Age, a time of peace and immense prosperity for the Dwarves of Erebor. But this Golden Age was shattered by a shadow from the north, Smaug the Golden. Drawn by the immense wealth, the great dragon descended upon the lonely mountain with fire and fury. The attack was swift and devastating. The halls of Erebor, once filled with song, became a tomb. Thousands of dwarves perished, consumed by flame or suffocated by smoke. King Thror and his son Thrain, along with a desperate remnant of their people, were driven out, refugees from their own home. Young Thorin, barely past his youth, fought bravely at the gates, witnessing the horror firsthand, earning his epithet Oakenshield by using a branch as a makeshift shield after his own was lost. This was the traumatic fall of Erebor and the beginning of Thorin's long, bitter exile. The years that followed were a testament to the dwarves' enduring spirit, but also to their profound suffering. Thorin and his kin became a dispossessed people, wandering from land to land, never truly finding a home. They settled for a time in the Blue Mountains, eking out a living as blacksmiths and miners, far from the glory of Erebor. For Thorin, every day was a reminder of what was lost. His early life, once filled with the promise of kingship, was now defined by exile. This period forged him. His pride hardened into stubbornness, his determination into an unyielding resolve. He trained relentlessly, his burning desire to reclaim his birthright becoming the very core of his being. He carried the weight of his people's suffering and the memory of Smaug's destruction like a physical burden, fueling his relentless pursuit of vengeance and restoration. This was the shaping of Thorin's resolve. The simmering rage of the dwarves finally erupted in the Battle of Azanulbizar, a brutal and bloody conflict against the orcs of Moria, who had slain King Thror. Thorin fought with legendary ferocity, using a shield fashioned from an oak branch after his own was broken, earning him his famous name. Though a victory, it was a Pyrrhic one, costing the dwarves dearly and leaving Thrain, Thorin's father, broken and eventually lost. Upon Thrain's disappearance, Thorin inherited the mantle of leadership, becoming the rightful king in exile. The burden of his people's survival, their longing for a home, and the unfulfilled oath to reclaim Erebor now rested squarely on his shoulders. This battle solidified Thorin's leadership and his commitment to his people. Years passed, and the hope of reclaiming Erebor dwindled for many, but not for Thorin. His resolve remained unyielding. It was his encounter with Gandalf years later that finally set the great quest in motion. Gandalf, with his own foresight and understanding of the larger shadow growing in Middle-earth, saw in Thorin the necessary will and in Erebor a strategic point. The wizard proposed a most unlikely burglar for their company, a hobbit named Bilbo Baggins. Thorin, initially scornful of such a creature, reluctantly agreed, driven by the desperation of his cause. This was the audacious quest for Erebor, born of necessity, hope, and an improbable alliance. The quest was arduous, but against all odds, they succeeded. Smaug was slain, and Erebor was reclaimed. Thorin Oakenshield at last sat upon the throne of his ancestors, king under the mountain. But the victory came with a terrible price. The vast wealth of Erebor, the very gold he had sought for so long, began to exert its own insidious influence, mirroring Smaug's own sickness. Thorin became increasingly consumed by dragon sickness, his pride turning to paranoia, his generosity to avarice. He clung fiercely to the Arkenstone, refusing to share the treasure even with those who had helped him. This led to a tense standoff with the men of Lake Town and the elves of Mirkwood, threatening another war. It was only in the devastating Battle of Five Armies, fighting against orcs, that Thorin found his true nobility once more. He died heroically, having reconciled with Bilbo and understanding the true value of friendship over gold. His sacrifice secured Erebor, but at the cost of his own life, fulfilling his destiny as a tragic hero. Thorin Oakenshield's life was a testament to the enduring spirit of the Dwarves, a relentless pursuit of justice, and the tragic consequences of unchecked greed. Though his reign as king under the mountain was brief, his sacrifice ensured the survival and resurgence of his people. Erebor was rebuilt, stronger and more prosperous than ever, under King Dan Ironfoot. Thorin's story, though marked by pride and a fatal flaw, ultimately shaped the fate of Middle-earth, diverting a powerful dragon and reclaiming a strategic stronghold for the free peoples. His legacy is not just in the gold he sought, but in the courage he displayed, the loyalty he inspired, and the ultimate price he paid for his people's freedom. He remains a complex, compelling figure, forever etched into the annals of Tolkien's legendarium. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.